Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Hopkins County and the surrounding area is under a flash flood watch until 1 p.m. Friday. The warning that had first been given was through 7 p.m. tonight, but now stretches through Friday at 1 p.m. Several rounds of showers and thunderstorms are expected across north and central Texas through Friday. A gradual drying trend will begin on Saturday. Rainfall totals of 1 to 3 inches can be expected through Friday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, 8th Judicial District Court, Sean Edward Harvey, age 29, pled guilty to possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine. Harvey's court appearance was the result of a traffic stop by a game warden. It was his second offense. If he's convicted a third time, he will, of a third-degree felony or higher, he will be facing 25 years to life under a habitual offender statute. Currently, he is also facing 2 charges in Rains County for methamphetamine possession. While going through dumpsters behind a closed business on Gilmer Street Thursday morning at 12:43, Sharon Ann Ball, age 67, met Sulphur Springs Police Department criminal investigator Harold McClure of the Special Crimes Unit. The result of the meeting was a charge of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, over 4 grams, but less than 200 grams. It's a felony, too. In light of the suspicious activity going through the dumpster, McClure gained consent to look through Ball's purse and her belongings. There, he found she was in possession of 2 tablets that were identified as a dangerous drug. She also gave consent for investigators to search her Beasley Street residence. When at the residence, Ball went to her bedroom, attempting to hide a white money bag from investigators. The bag contained 6.2 grams of suspected methamphetamine. Ball is in Hopkins County Jail, held on a $20,000 bond. In April of this year, she violated her probation for manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance under 28 grams methamphetamine and was in jail for a month before being released. The Lady Tail Draggers Fly-In is set for this weekend, rain or shine. Ladies Love Tail Draggers is a group of ladies who love to fly. Their mission is to introduce women to the world of aviation and have fun in the meantime. Early arrivals are set to begin today and will be arriving throughout the day on Friday and Saturday. They'll have several activities for those ladies as they fly in. They're expecting not only planes to come in at the airport runway, but also on Lake Sulphur Springs also during this fly-in.
We're going to be meeting 3 contestants in the Ms. Hopkins County Senior Classic Pageant. Altogether, there are 9 local ladies who have entered the pageant. Each are 60 years plus. And the winner will advance to the Ms. Texas Senior Pageant this summer. So plan to be at the pageant in Sulphur Springs this Saturday night, June 4th, 6 p.m. at Church of the Nazarene Gym.
And here's Gail Massey. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning, Mama Gay.
Thank you for coming today.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
We're just going to go down the line, and this is Dorothy Hawkins. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, and you have a crown on already.
That's right.
So what title do you have?
Miss Rock Creek.
Okay, so you just got that recently. Thank you. And here on the end we have
Levon Elam.
Okay. Whoops. Levon. And so this is not our first time to see you as a contestant.
No, this is my 3rd year.
Okay, wonderful. I'm glad that you have re-entered. And you have something that's just happened for you, a diploma? Tell us about that.
I just recently graduated from Texas A&M Commerce with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Liberal Studies.
I'm so proud. See, this is what this pageant is all about, a celebration of the contributions that we make age 60 and older. And so do all of you ladies qualify for that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's go back down to the first again for Gail Massey. Gail, tell us just a little bit about yourself, your family, and what you like to do.
Well, I've been married almost 51 years, the 19th of this month, to my high school sweetheart.
Oh.
By the grace of God.
Who is he?
David Massey.
Okay.
And I have 3 grown children who are all 3 married and have children. I have 8 grandchildren and 2 great-grand puppies. That's all it's gotten me so far.
That's great. Well, tell us about your talent at the pageant. What will you be doing?
I'll be singing. I've sang since I was probably 8 years old, and only other time I was ever on TV, I was 8 years old, and that was in Tyler at some little birthday party I sang. And then I got into high school, and our English teacher that we had at the time sang for the Dallas Metropolitan Opera. She heard me sing one day in a program and took me under her wing and taught me so many things. I've always been grateful to her.
Isn't that wonderful that those mentors just kind of show up in our lives?
Yes, they do. God provides those.
Well, tell me, do you have a church home?
Yes, Calvary Baptist Church. I'm the ladies ministry director there, and we have so much fun.
Okay. Well, I'd love to hear more. Tell me just a bit more about other things that you like to do.
Okay, I love to write. I am actually writing a book for my children. They each got theirs at their 45th birthday, and the last thing I wrote to them was the day of their birth, and they've loved it. And I'm making a book for each of my grandchildren. Pictures, things that's happened to them, poems I've written, stories. And my mother died when I was 23, and you couldn't ask her anything. I wanted my children to have written down the stories, the things God taught me, just all kinds of things, and they have it.
I think that is an excellent idea. And not only just an idea, but you've carried it through to completion.
Yes, I'm not through yet.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Gail Massey. And we will be seeing you on Saturday night at the pageant.
Yes,
so let's go to Ms. Rock Creek now, Dorothy Hawkins. Dorothy, tell us what you have done in your life. And remember, we just have a few minutes.
I was one that after I graduated from high school, I did not want to go to college. And I had an older sister, and she instilled in me that I needed more education. And because I had always listened to her, I went to college. And she had been an inspiration all through my life. She was 15 years older than I.
Okay.
And I had a brother that was 10 years older than I, and he is in commercial real estate in Dallas and very successful.
Okay.
And I was born in Honey Grove, Texas.
Okay.
The sweetest town in Texas. I don't guess many of you know that.
What career did you have?
I was a first grade teacher for 27 years, and I loved my kids dearly. I still can remember many of their names. And my daughter said the other day, she said, "Mother, I don't know how you remember their names like you do, but God gave me that gift." Mm-hmm. And
did you teach at elementaries in Sulphur Springs?
Yes, I did. I taught at Travis first, and then I taught at Lamar.
Okay. And I know those students well remember you, Ms. Hawkins.
Yes, I saw one at Rock Creek the other day, and I looked at him and I said, "I know him. I know him." And I kept looking, and I said, "Is your name Joe?" And he looked at me very astounded. Mm-hmm. I said, "Is your name Joe Goodson?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, do you have a sister named Alicia?" And he said, "Yes, I do." And I said, does she live around here? And he said, yes, not too far away. And one morning, she came in my room and made a special trip to see me. And that just thrilled my heart. So I loved my students, and I still do. So.
Well, you have a new community now out at Rock Creek. And so tell us about winning this pageant that you had out there.
They were looking for contestants, and I did not think about being a contestant, and my granddaughter encouraged me to do it. And she got me a dress, and I wore it and won the pageant. They asked, they had 3 judges, and they asked a few questions, and then they made their decision.
I think very fitting. Well, and so you already have a crown, and I wonder if you get more crowns as you go through this period of your life as you're entering pageants, if you'll just have to wear one a day or something like that.
Well, that would be thrilling.
Well, thank you, Dorothy Hawkins. And also, if we have time, and I hope we do, want to ask you ladies about your philosophy of life, which is also going to be asked at the pageant. And now let's go to LaVon. A friend of mine, and we have been together at this pageant before.
We have.
Tell me about your kids and grandkids.
Well, I have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl, and 9 grandchildren.
Okay.
They all vary in ages. The youngest one is 5, and the oldest one is 24, I believe. But they just grow up so fast, it's hard to keep up with the years. But
I agree.
Yeah.
I read that you like hunting and fishing.
I do, although I haven't been able to do it for a while. Just haven't had the opportunity, but I used to do it a lot.
You've been busy studying for the last while.
Yes, last 2 years. I did take a semester or so off because I had some health issues, but I've been pursuing my degree and got that done.
What was the factor that made you decide to go back to school?
It was dissatisfaction that I had. I called it unfinished business. I had quit college a semester before graduation back when I was young and making bad decisions. And I just never did go back and finish it, and it was just weighing on me, and so I decided to go. What are you're going to be doing something, you might as well pursue what's important, to you. So I did.
And you'll be blessed for that from now on. I want to ask you, on the night of the pageant, which is Saturday night, what will your talent be?
This year I'm going to do a skit.
Okay.
A music skit. The last 2 years I read stories that I had written, and so I decided to branch out a little bit and do a skit this year.
Well, I'm going to ask Dorothy Hawkins about her philosophy of life. If you could just tell us briefly. I know you have to write it out in just so many words. You may not have it memorized, but in brief, your philosophy of life.
My philosophy of life is very simple. Do the best you can and never look back, because you would want to add to it. And it's very important that people always do their best, no matter what they are doing.
Lovely and true. I didn't ask you, LaVon, your philosophy.
Mine is choosing to be happy. I don't have time or room for negativity, and I believe that attitude and what we do in life is a choice. And so I choose to be happy and laugh and have fun.
Thank you. I love that too. And Gail, I want to ask you, what will your talent be?
Singing,
Okay. And your selection?
special delivery.
Okay. We'll look forward to that. Your philosophy of life, Gail Massey.
Putting it down into smaller words rather than what I've typed. God's word says to love Him and love others. And that's what I choose to do. Love is a choice. It's not a feeling. Just like you choose to do things that are wrong and make people unhappy. You can also choose to love and to do good things. Smile at people. Do things for them. Send them a card. Love them. And that's the fun out of life. I want to have fun by loving.
Okay. Thank you very much, the three of you. And the pageant is Saturday night. Now, yesterday we met Faye Robinson, so that leaves us about 5 more ladies. Hopefully we'll be able to meet them tomorrow morning in our interview time. But for the public, it is free to attend the pageant. It's going to be at Sulphur Springs Church of the Nazarene, not the sanctuary this year, but the gym. So we'll have a more place for people to sit, and 6 o'clock on Saturday night. And please be there and support these ladies.
Here's Don with sports.
Again this summer, Sulphur Springs High School will be offering the EDGE conditioning program, various sports camps, and something new for middle schoolers. I talked with Wildcats Athletic Director Greg Owens Thursday morning.
We've got a lot of stuff. It'll be active summer again. We all kind of always kick this thing off with EDGE. So as a general conditioning program for everybody that's involved in competitive athletics, we're having a high school EDGE. We'll start on June the 13th and go through July the 21st, and it's from 8 in the morning until 10 a.m. Okay, and so it's boys and girls in high school athletics. It's not a come and let me just get in shape because I'm trying to lose weight or trying to get more fit. It's not that kind of deal. It's competitive athletics. So if you're involved in one of our athletic programs, you're welcome to come and be a part of that. And it's pretty intense, and most of our kids understand that and they know that. And it's a Monday through Thursday of each week. Mm-hmm. So it's a 6 weeks program, and it's really good and continues to go. Last year, I think we started with over 200 kids. Ended up probably around 120 when it's all said and done, that we're consistently involved and coming and committed to doing that. This year we're doing something a little bit different, is we're going to add a middle school EDGE, kind of piggyback onto that one. So we're only going to have theirs for 1 hour a day, same time frame, July the 13th. It's only going to be the month of June, July the 13th through June the 30th. The middle school EDGE is going to go from 9:30 to 10:30. So we ask everybody, really what I'm going to try to encourage people to do is drop them off in the very back of the facility. There's a sidewalk there. It's going to help with the crowding and drop off and pick up stuff. So, but we'll take those kids through introductory weights. We'll also take them through your basic agility moves and those things that we're looking for, and we're kind of just checking them. We do a thing called the grid, agility grid, teaching kids how to run, stop, change direction, all those kind of things, along with a lot of field plyometrics with them. So it'll be good for them. What we've seen in the past is for our middle schoolers that do come, that they usually start fading away after July. So we're going to have, and plus they've got 2 more months before they're even going to be in school. So it's a deal where, we're just going to try to teach them skills that they can kind of carry on through the rest of the summer. So all that stuff's be posted on our website. People can go to SSH or SSISD, go to athletics and see all of our camp lists that I'm going to kind of tell you about, in this process, or give me a call. As far as sports camps go, right off the bat, we got a baseball hitting camp at the multipurpose, June the 6th through 8th. June 7th through 9th is softball to multipurpose. Our times are listed there. We also this summer will be offering a soccer camp, boys and girls soccer. So that'll be Coach Wiggins and Coach DeLeon taking the soccer camp over to boys and girls. It's all combined, and that we've gone to that one where it's a 6 to 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. So it kind of helps the use of our facilities. And if you'll also notice, our baseball softball camp's kind of split. We got the boys in the morning and the girls in the afternoon, which is okay because we're in the indoor, and it just keeps us. It's still hot in here, but it keeps them out of the sun. Mm-hmm. And then we'll offer a volleyball camp at the end of June this year. Justin Manis, he moved it from the end of July. He does a lot of camps, being a former college guy. He does a lot of camps around the state and works that, so that's best how it fit his his schedule for this year, so our girls can see that. We'll have a boys basketball camp. I skipped the girls basketball camp. We got a girls basketball camp in the middle of June, third week of June. A boys basketball camp the second week in July. And then our Wildcat football camp at the end of July. So it's kind of the same pattern. We've shifted some things around just a little bit. So anybody can go to the website. You should be able to click on the link by the camp that you want and download their camp sign up. Or really, our camps are pretty flexible. You just show up the day of, then you can register that morning. So and usually if it's a Monday camp, then we'll have their shirts ready for them by Wednesday, something like that. So every one of our camps, you get a shirt and sometimes a football and sometimes a basketball. It just depends what the camp is and what the year is. So a lot of stuff. And then at the end of July also, we've got a tennis camp. So almost every sport we have offers something. So if you want your kids to get exposed to that and be able to learn some stuff and have a good time, then there's the option for them there.
Website, pretty good place to go for all your information.
It is. I mean, if nothing else, if you can't click on one of the brochures to download, at least you'll have the basic brochure there. And also SS News, Silver Springs News Telegram also does a pretty good job of listing that every week. Mm-hmm. So you can grab one of those, or again, just call me up here and I can tell you when the camp's going to be, and we'll kind of work from there.
You've talked about the Edge. Go back that a little bit. Stories are documented about kids that have come in and really made a commitment, and really just, by the time fall rolls around, they're blowing and going.
It's a serious camp, and we tell kids, if you're not serious about it, don't show up. It's not a check the box deal. We're going to work you, guys, gals, everybody the same. We expect high intensity, the whole deal. It's still a lot of instruction still. There's times we slow things down, but it's really for us to push them and get them ready. And particularly the fall sports who kick off as soon as summer's over, they're ready to go. So we're trying to get a kid in the best shape of their life, really. And it's all on them. If they show up and they commit, then they'll have an opportunity, to see great things. And so, it's about their commitment level with them. But I mean, be honest with you too. We're not going to jack around. If you're not serious about it, don't show up. And I don't want to be ugly about that. It's just one of those camps. It's not a fun deal. We're all here. We're all serious. We all get to work, and it's an opportunity for a kid to learn a lot about themselves, really, how far they can push themselves and push their teammates. And it really, for me, it tells a little bit about our football team. Who's committed, who's in, how many guys are showing up, I can't hold it against them in the fall, but the bottom line is we step on the field August the 8th this year, you better be in shape. We lost a scrimmage and we lost a week of work because of spring ball. Spring ball was about fundamentals and technique. It wasn't about conditioning. Edge is about conditioning and being in shape. So if a kid comes in sloppy, they come out of shape, they pull a hamstring, there's a chance they're going to miss the first or second ball game. And it hurts them and it hurts their teammates. So it's really a commitment level to your team and everybody else involved. And we're not telling kids they can't go to a camp or go on a vacation. But, if you come one day a week, you're going to be a miserable person. You're just going to get sore. It's a commitment level that builds on itself, and it just gradually allows you, because the deeper we get into this thing, the tougher it gets. For instance, our gasser days, we'll start with 6 gassers on a Tuesday. At the end of it, we'll have a gasser test of 16. And so every week we add 2 more gassers to it, so it's just a gradual process. I think I'll make the last 2 weeks. Well, you're going to jump into a tough time if you haven't been doing much the whole time. So it's there to benefit them. It's not there for a punishment. It's there to challenge them and get them to the highest level that we could possibly get them at.
I've seen it starting in August, and some guys that expect to be projected first team, and they may be in second team, third team, just because they're not in shape.
They're not in shape,
and they're behind the other guys.
Yeah, they're sore, they're bent over, they can't catch up. And we're moving on. It's too late now for me to get you in shape. It's time to go. It's time to go to work. Time to get bought in, and here we go. So it's a process about it. It's like anything. Whatever you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what any sport, anything, your academics, our lives, whatever we put into it is what we're going to get out of it. So and that's kind of what we preach to these kiddos, every day here. And we're not here trying to kill them. We're going to challenge them, physically, mentally, and encourage them at the same time. And the crazy thing is, we give this gasser test at the end of the year, 16 gassers under time. The ones that come, you can tell who came. You can tell when we get to, like you said too, when you get to 2-a-days, you can tell who showed up. Those guys are flying around, they're in shape, they're ready, they're eager to learn. They can start working on their skill and honing that skill again and getting better. Other guys are just trying to survive. And those guys that are trying to survive, they usually get discouraged and get behind because they're behind, and it's a tough road to get ahead, get back caught up.
You talked about for guys and ladies, and we talked to many coaches, and they'll talk about their lady athletes, and they'll mention she was an edge, she was committed, and it helps them so much with just their athleticism and leaping and the whole.
Oh yeah, I mean physically it helps you, but I think the greatest thing from edge is a mental aspect. I think it's a mental edge for you, and that's why we call it the edge. You're getting a physical edge and you're getting a mental edge on your competition. Will that be somebody you're competing against here in our own school, or really our opponents that we'll talk about weekly, that we're going to be facing in our district coming up? So, it's the edge. We're trying to get us jump on those other folks. But I've seen kids gain so much confidence just saying, hey, yeah, we went through, we survived, we conquered, we dominated the edge. We just didn't go through the motions. You get at it, it's going to push you. And if you're an athlete, you like to be pushed. If you're a competitive athlete, that's what you want. You want somebody to push you to be your best, and that's the greatest benefit that I see from it. Because in this thing, we'll do some team building kind of stuff too, where it's one group flipping a tire over here competing against another group. So in a bunch of our drills, instead of just going through stuff, it's a competition almost every day. Relay stuff in there, flipping the tires. We'll do a deal with just who can hold the weight up the longest in the weight room just to kind of finish that day. So it's just kind of challenging them and them overcoming some mental barriers, because all of us can do so much more, but our minds just hold us back. We finally fight that and get through all that. Then kids see those things and see themselves continue to grow and improve, and they start sticking their chest out a little bit more, and they start carrying themselves a little bit different, and that carries over. I see it carry over in their life. I see it carry over on the field. Just who they are as a person. So those are the biggest benefits to me.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.